Hello everyone, 2024 has been a great year for animation. Netflix continues this tradition started with Castlevania. They had Terminator Zero, they had Twilight of the Gods, and now they present Lara Croft, The Legend of Tomb Raider. Lara Croft, The Legend of Tomb Raider follows the Survivor trilogy, and in many ways, it's a successor and a little bit of a soft reboot. I'm a huge fan of the video games, both classic and the reboot Survivor trilogy. That first game in 2013 was just so good and such a different experience post-Uncharted for action-adventure games. And Lara Croft is iconic. There's a reason why she's had many video games, comics, books, films, and now an anime series. Hayley Atwell takes over for the character Lara Croft, and she's perfect. Like, I don't know why they haven't had her in live action. She's like the living embodiment of Lara Croft. And I like what she does here because she continues a lot of stuff from the Survivor trilogy, but this is kind of a bridge to the classic Lara Croft. Did it go into the classic Lara Croft as much as I would liked? No, but that being said, the voice work and performances are done very well. Earl Balin as Jonah returns, and he's better than ever. We have Alan Maldonado as Zip. Zip is a character from the classic series and the first film. He's great here, although even though he's funny, at times he can be a little bit obnoxious and kind of annoying, where I'm like, okay, just be quiet for a second, okay? Just be quiet. Then we have Richard Armitage as the villain, Charles Devereaux. And of course, Abby Ortiz returns from Shadow of Tomb Raider. Her and Jonah are further in their relationship here. And I like the callbacks. We get a lot of callbacks to the first game and before the first game with Conrad Roth. So she's suffering from Roth's loss here. The start of it pretty much involves an estate sale at Croft Manor. They're having some type of function. This thief goes and steals this mysterious jade, and Laura has to get it back. Not only getting the jade back, but trying to solve the mystery of why he wanted this jade and what exactly does it do. So that starts our adventure, and each episode is kind of a standalone adventure where she meets different people, and I kind of like seeing the relationships here she has with different characters, their history, and there's a lot of good callbacks to the Survivor trilogy, and towards the end there's some great callbacks to the earlier games. My only issue, besides some of the pacing and story, is that it kind of creates continuity errors if you follow the games. And there's some flashbacks where Lara Croft, just before the first game, she's kick-ass, and Roth is kind of like her uncle. He takes care of her after her father died. And she's already kind of like the tough badass she is later on, which I don't mind that, but it kind of creates continuity errors and kind of takes away the emphasis and effect that we had of the first game where she isn't a survivor yet. It's how she gets there. And it's funny because, like, I guess it's grief where she's taken down Trinity. She's no longer fueled by anger and revenge. She's trying to figure out life here. So she's a very angsty Lara Croft, which isn't bad, but I don't remember her crying about Roth in Rise of Tomb Raider or Shadow of Tomb Raider. It seems she got over that. At the end of the game, it actually starts with the end scene where she's hired by the woman she's hired by in the first Tomb Raider, like right before the bar scene of the opening at Croft Manor. So, like, it's not bad exploring levels of Lara Croft. I just get kind of tired. It's like the Daniel Craig Bond stuff where it's like he's basically James Bond by the end of the Casino Royale, and then every other movie somebody's like, well, I want to see how he gets there. Let's get him to the person we know and love. And I'm like, he already is that person. We don't need to backpedal with dad trauma, or in this case Roth trauma. It just feels repetitive. It doesn't push the narrative forward, and it's sad because there's some great moments in this show. I have to say, the animation style, sometimes there are a few errors, but I love the anime style. If you like Castlevania, you'll like this, or Terminator Zero. The action scenes is where it delivers, and then Hayley Atwell really portrays Lara Croft's humor and quipness as well, besides a vulnerability. And that I liked. That felt like classic Tomb Raider, but we weren't all the way there yet. It's like they were kind of stuck in some type of rebooted version of the Survivor trilogy, and I kind of want it more classic, even after Survivor trilogy. But then there's some moments that work as a sequel to Shadow of Tomb Raider, so that's where I'm kind of conflicted on this show, and why I say it's kind of a soft reboot, because it does have its moments that shine. Lara Croft is the Lara Croft you know and love. And the villain, he's kind of a little cheesy, even by like classic Tomb Raider standards. He has this jade that can control people. and it gets a little anime, you know? And that's not bad, but like even for the classic trilogy, I just wanted more of that kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark vibe with everybody after an artifact, and then you bring in the supernatural stuff. But there's some great action sequences with a bike, with, I won't spoil it, some creatures, and then episode 6 has an awesome train sequence that reminded me of Haley Atwell in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, I have to say. I love that. I love the relationship with her and Jonah and how they continue to explore that with her friends. And having Jonah and Zip there is like the bridge between the two Tomb Raider worlds. Zip is also, she's known for a long time, so we don't get to see how they meet. And it's a little weird because I'm like, if that guy was around, why wasn't Zip helping her in the other games? You know, it kind of contradicts the earlier stuff. And I wish they would just commit to, like, is this a reboot? Or if it's going to be, like, in between them, can they, like, stay true and just bring us classic Tomb Raider with this new renovation, push the franchise forward, you know? So that's how I kind of felt there. But other than that, like, there's some moments that feel slow. I don't think this needed to be 8 episodes. And by slow, I mean, like, kind of bland. And it's not that the story's... It's not as, I don't know, I think I might be lacking as a video game player the immersion that you get with the video games, and maybe it's like watching somebody else play a video game, I don't know. Maybe it's just the immersive experience that I get when I play as Lara Croft in the games and solving puzzles and then taking in the environments. I wish we got more of that, but visually it's beautiful, but like below the surface level there really isn't much. It's very hollow. And what I mean by that is, like, you remember Castlevania? Castlevania had a story, and then after Dracula got killed, it's like, well, what are they going to do now? It just feels like it's just like there. It just feels like it exists. I don't feel like I'm experiencing something, you know? And that's kind of where the pitfall is. But one thing I have to say as a pro, unlike Castlevania or say the Resident Evil CG Infinite Darkness series, this being 8 episodes was nice, not having 2 to 4 episodes. But I think somewhere in the middle might have actually helped this a little bit more. And it does leave it open for more, and I don't know how it's going to connect to the originals because it's really kind of gone off, but other than that, though, you do get nods to the classic games, you get nods to the Survivor trilogy. There are even some homages to Angel of Darkness in there, and that surprised me. If I had to give Lara Croft The Legend of Tomb Raider a score, I would give it a B. It's an enjoyable watch for fans. You will enjoy it. Is it as immersive and well done as the video games as far as story? I don't think so. Not compared to the Survivor trilogy, and I actually love the originals. I wish we got more of that. We got a hint of it. I wanted to see the bridge, you know, but Haley Atwell's perfect. If they get her in live action or even a video game, I'll be happy. I don't know if this is going to be like a new canon going forward, if it's its own standalone thing, but it's worth a watch. It's an enjoyable binge for 8 episodes. Each of the episodes are about like 32 to like 25 minutes, give or take, depending. So they're a pretty good length. You can get 2 episodes done, 2 or 3 episodes done in about a little bit over an hour, so yeah, it makes it a good binge, and if you're a fan of the games, I highly recommend it. If you haven't played the games, one thing that this does well is that it fills in the blanks and kind of gives you a history for those who are not familiar with the video games. And hopefully, it makes you want to pick up a controller and experience the world of Lara Croft. Anyway, those are just my quick thoughts on Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. Have you seen it? Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Let me know your favorite Tomb Raider video games down in the comments below. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more content. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Till next time.